Today I got a real special one, man. I know y'all see him all over social media. Y'all see him moving all around DC, even in other parts of the country. Keep it on him. He keep it on him. He don't go away without it, man.
That's a fact.
My main man, Big Mark Chopper in the building, man. Big Mark Chopper in the building, man. Look, man, people don't know we got history, man. We got history, man.
Yeah, man. For sure.
Man, let's go back from the beginning, Mark.
All right.
Tell the people where you know you from the area, but tell them exactly where you from. You know, give us a little about your childhood.
Well, as you know, I'm from the Northeast area, and I'm also from PG County as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, growing up, you know, you was Uncle Curtbone coming to the all-day shop, and that's one thing I wanted to do before I even start was give you your flowers.
Man,
you know,
I appreciate it.
just being a man in the community. You know, me and my brothers, we ain't had much money coming into your store.
Right.
You know, we rubbing together $14, $15.
Right.
You made sure we walked out of there with something.
Right, yeah.
So that it showed us it ain't all about the money. You know, you was for the community.
Right,
so you took a major role in you know who we are today.
I appreciate
that.
Just
from seeing you most of the days out the week, you know, and seeing how you move.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely want to start off with that. Grew up single mother. Of course, you know, we had our father. We was kind of back and forth from you know, moms to pops. A lot of times, me and my brothers, we was moving around with my moms. You know, with her working 2 jobs and going to school.
Right.
So we was with her a lot. You know, with that being said, you know, we was always in it. We was always into stuff because we ain't have the means, you know what I mean? We grew up pretty poor.
Right.
We was always trying to figure out, you know, how to get some money, or we get, you know, and we'd get into fights and stuff, a lot of fights, because we was dressed pretty, you know, pretty raggedy,
had the style
you know, because mom was always on the go,
right?
You know, so that caused us to build a reputation as the manly boys, me and my brothers. You know what I mean? We was ripping and running Northeast area. We was ripping and running this area, the Brittany place in PG County over there, and we was always in trouble, man. Always fighting and you know and just getting into stuff.
People know y'all. They know y'all was quick to get aggressive or physical because y'all used to people taunting and all that stuff. Y'all was trying to shut that noise down.
We was shutting the noise down.
Oh yeah.
We grew up poor, man, super poor. You know, a lot of times we was in homeless shelters back and forth. You know, a lot of people don't know that.
Right.
You know, and that was, you know, that was one thing that we knew because we was with our mother, and she refused to go back to Pop. You know what I'm saying? She refused to go back to Pop, or Pop. You know, they wanted to get along.
Right.
You know, you don't know Pop. That's my pops. He was on Benning Road. He was there on 24th and Benning Road, and that's why we built our relationship from. So. I mean, that's the.
Is Pop still around? Is he still?
Yeah, Pop's still around, man. He uptown right now. You know, he had a stroke, so he not as sharp as he used to be, but he's still live and kicking, man, and he's still the life of the party.
Right, yeah. Well, you had a unique perspective of living in DC and PG, right? Yeah. And you hear a lot of that now with the DC PG thing, right?
Yeah.
So what's your perspective, like let me get your, what's your perspective of the difference of the mindset, or is it any difference, or why is there such a big discussion about DC PG thing now amongst the youngest?
Because they don't know no better.
Okay,
they right next door to each other. They neighbors. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The same people I know from DC were pretty much, they was either in PG County or PG County was in DC. It's the same area. We gotta stop the division. And that's one of the things I push out there, and that's the narrative I push, because you know, I push the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't appreciate that. They don't like that. You know, if I'm from this place, I'm from that place. No, we gotta change that mindset.
Right, yeah.
We all together. We strong together.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You all together in the feds, in the service, in college.
Yeah.
All that come together as one.
Yeah, all together as one. So that's one message I definitely try to push. So
and I was curious because I know you got a big voice amongst that community and demographic. You know what I'm saying? So your words will resonate more. You say, cause I know I got rocking PG friends since we was young. When I was breaking law, and I tell people like it really was people we really had a thing because when a dude get a good job or if motherfucker get a good job, they move out there in PG County, right? It was really like a come up, so it was a little bit of hate to that end too, right? But it all migrated from the DC area, 90% of the history of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So but I was just trying to get your perspective because, like I say, it's like a big topic. Like, you know, guys my age, we laugh and joke about it. Some of Maryland dudes, and you're a DC dude, but I would say the younger now, they be so personal. But I said, man, they don't know we really, you know, basically almost won for real.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
We all won, man.
Well,
yeah. And honestly, I got in more trouble than I did in PG County than I did in DC. You know, I feel like PG had a point to prove. A lot of dudes out there like that, you know, they had a point to prove.
Man, look, I was messing with the Landover dudes, man, Glen Oz, Palmer Park. Off Hill, man. I tell dudes, I say, man, look, don't go out there bullshitting. Even back then. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know, but it's different people experience. A lot of people don't leave their block. But they only got the perspective of what they see.
See, this the thing is, the neighborhood that I was running with, Brittany Place, 90% of them are dead. Like they've been killed. You know what I mean? Same thing with Benny Road. The dudes that I hung out with, they're dead. You know, so that narrative is completely false because both of those sides is
the results the same.
Right. You know, so
what you contribute to ducking death like that, avoiding death like that, tragedy? We can't control death, but would you give it to how you was able to elude it like that, being in both of them worlds like that?
Situational awareness, man. You know, just paying attention.
Man, say that word again. That's strong.
Situational awareness, you know, and also moving righteous, you know.
Right.
Because I believe in karma. You know, you do some trifling stuff, gonna come back at you. No, that's not always the case because there's always innocent bystanders. But if you paying attention, you got more of a chance to survive out here, you know? Paying attention to everything. You know, just staying off your phone. A lot of these youngers always on their phone. You know, they don't know where the exit points is when they go into a building. They don't know to check the perimeter. You know, these things I learned early, you know? So, because I started out early. I jumped off the porch early, you know, with big brothers and stuff. So, just learn to pay attention. You
jumped off there. You read the rule book. You ain't just went out there. Learn on the fly, right? Damn, that's powerful. That's powerful. Man, you had experience later on in your life, man, where someone lost their life. Speak to us about that situation.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start from the beginning because I started off as a security guard as a bouncer at 16 years old, you know, working at the DC Stars and the clubs in DC. So worked my way up, built my own team. Then I was at Touche, Club 12, Love Club, all those known clubs in DC. I had started building a team up, right? So coming about a few years ago, I had a team in different places. I had about 14, 15 contracts in DC, and I was a youngin', and I didn't know much, you know, as far as like licensing, permits. I didn't know nothing about that. I knew I was built like that. You know what I mean? And I had a team, you know, I had a team that was on what I was gonna follow me. They know I was, you know, they moved how I moved, right? So I had a team that we all moved as a unit. So we was able to take over the market in the security game. So I November 14th, it was my wife's birthday. It was my wife's birthday. Took out to a seafood dinner. Beautiful night. I mean, it was beautiful. I'm taking her home, and she begging me not to go back out. I'm like, well, my men is out. You know, I got to go check on my men. I don't have a job. This is my career. This is my life. You know, so, and if my men out there working, I need to go make sure, you know, I'm the leader. I need to go show my face, at least, you know? So that's what I was doing. Dropped her off, went to go show my face at a spot on Florida Avenue. This was a new spot. So the guys my team wasn't familiar with the spot. They wasn't familiar with the staff or anything. So, of course, I wanted to go just show my face, you know, make sure they was good. So I went up there. Everything was cool. The guys was good. I'm ready to go back home. I'm walking to the corner and I see one of the vendors coming out because it was a cannabis pop-up shops. That's when the cannabis pop-up shops was booming. So we started cornering the market there. Like we started taking over anybody that was doing any any pop-up shops, because they was coming all from out of town, Kurt. They was coming from out of town. So we pretty much told them, like, yo, we're doing the security for you. We're going to make sure you good, you know? And that's what we did. So one of the vendors was coming out, and I'm about to leave. I said, you know what? This is my name on this. I just want to make sure while I'm here, I make sure they good. I make sure they get out to their vehicle and stuff. So no, as soon as they get to their vehicle, and I'm right there at their vehicle, I see a black truck, skirt. All 4 doors pop open. Ski masks, guns. All 4 of them had guns and ski masks. So I'm sitting there. It took me like a split second. I'm like, damn, this on Youth Street, bro. This on Florida Avenue.
Wide open like that.
Wide open. I'm talking about we got all kinds of folks walking up and down the street. So I'm like in complete shock for about a second. Then I snap out of it. I see they had a bodyguard. The bodyguard was up the street, hauled ass on them. So when the guys hopped out, one of them had a gun on me, one of them had a gun on the one of the vendors, and they had an assistant. So they had guns drawn on us. So I'm like, and the youngin', I could hear his voice. I could remember his voice in my head, you know. He was like, man, you don't get your ass on the ground. I think, like, he had the gun on me. And he was like, man, if you don't get your ass on the ground. And I heard the voice. I'm like, man, that's a youngin' talking to me crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this, like, and it was like, I ain't getting on the ground. I damn sure ain't getting on the ground. He could. I don't know what their motives is. I don't know how they moving. You know. So I'm like, it's about to go down. It's like you know, it's a fight or flight. I said, I'm about to fight. So I pulled my joint out and I just started firing immediately at him. You know, and he's like, he just froze up. You know what I'm saying? He like froze up because he ain't expected. Like he still had the gun on me and everything. I just fired about 7-8 shots. And then the other guys started running. Like they left the truck. The truck was still there. They left the truck and everything. And they was firing. They was running and firing at me. You know what I mean? So, boom. First thing in my thought, like, oh, I'm out of here. I'm going to North Carolina. I called my mother. I said, I'm out of here. Call mama. First thing I said, call my mom. I'm out of here. You know what I mean? I'm going out of here. So, I'm getting phone calls. I'm getting phone calls from my team like, y'all, you good? You good? I said, yeah, I'm good. So I'll make sure y'all good. So I'm around the corner, still at the scene. Make sure my team get out. My team was like, matter of fact, the owner of the pop-up shop who was paying me, this person, you know what I'm saying, was paying me for the contract. He was like, man, go ahead, get out of here. I'm gonna make sure the team good. I said, all right, bet. So I went down to Elroy's right there on 8th Street, sat there, had a drink, wait for all my team to get there and stuff like that, and let them know the plan moving forward. You know, like who's going to be in charge because I'm going to be gone for a while. That was the mindset, you know. I didn't know about, you know, the DC laws as far as self-defense or anything like that. I knew the firearm I had. I mean, I didn't know much about permits or anything like that. So it was like all bad for real. You know, the way I was moving in the protection agency lane out, you know, I was just the muscle, you know what I mean? As far as like all the paperwork and corporation stuff, that wasn't, none of that was straight. I was moving risky. I was moving reckless, you know? So I'm getting on the road. I'm like, I'm on the road, you know, I'm driving. And then some told me like, man, nah, you can't run. You know what I mean? I ain't never run from nothing in my life, bro. You know? So I turned around. I did stay in Baltimore. I stayed in Baltimore. I said, I ain't going to my house. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going out there. I was like, I got to get my mind together. You know what I mean? Running,
but you still being smart, though.
Yeah, I said, I got to get my mind together. Like, it was all this whole situation was on camera. So, anyway, I stayed in Baltimore, called my lawyer, and I said, man, I got to come talk to you. Talk to her. And she was like she was so nonchalant, not nonchalant, but she was like, you didn't do nothing wrong. I said, okay, so, I mean, what we looking at? She was like, this clear-cut self-defense. I said, self-defense? I knew nothing about self-defense law in D.C. All my life growing up. We didn't have gun laws. We didn't have, not gun laws, we didn't have gun permits, concealed carry permits, all self-defense laws in D.C. come to find out, that situation opened my eyes up. Like we have a middle ground law, you know, which I can fight force with force. With, you know, if you got a knife, I can use a knife. You know what I'm saying? If you're an immediate threat to me, you know what I'm saying? You got a knife or a firearm, I can defend myself with a firearm.
Right.
So
even if the firearm's not registered.
Even if the firearm not registered, that don't got nothing to do with your self-defense case.
Okay.
So the lawyer, I paid the lawyer, man. That took. I had to pull out stocks, man. I had to pull out, you know, funds I had put up for my babies. You know, I left me dry. Right. But you know, I still had my life, so I don't want to make it seem like I'm ungrateful because I am. I'm grateful to be here. Right. But I just want people to understand the situation with not knowing, not being educated will leave you dry. You know, definitely leave you dry if you don't know. You know, because I had the lawyer, so she talked to the detectives ended up calling me. I said, talk to my lawyer. Click. You know what I mean? Like, so talk to my lawyer. My lawyer was like, don't worry about it. You good. I was like, all right, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. Like, even had a little paper from the prosecutors, like, we declined to prosecute Mark Manley. You know, that's my real name. Right. And so I'm like, okay, I'm feeling like, okay, I don't got nothing to worry about, right? So I don't got nothing to worry about. So I'm like, all right, well, I need to start educating myself on firearms, how to get a permit, doing the right thing. Right. And this is the kicker, right? About a month before the situation, I had just put in for my security license to have a business, to have a security business, you know, and that literally saved me as well. I'm gonna get to that. So I'm gonna double back to like me just educating myself on guns and stuff like that, how to get the proper permits. So I went down to DC. I mean, bold, like, you know, like I didn't just, you know, wasn't just involved in a justified homicide. Right. You know, went down there bold. Like, yeah, I'm, you know, get here to get my gun permits and stuff like that. And it was like, okay, all right. And, you know, I did all the paperwork, did everything I needed to do, follow the steps. So I get a phone call, right, from NPD, 500 Indiana Avenue. They was like, yeah, your firearm's ready. So I looked at the phone. I felt it. I felt the energy. Right, you know what I mean? Right. Like I knew. I was sitting with my man, Jay Vaughn, shout out to J2 Funny, my brother. I said, hey, they about to set me up. Right. Told my wife, I said, they about to set me up. So, but I said, I'm about to face the music. Like I said, I ain't doing no running. I'm gonna go face the music, make them feel like they, you know, they doing something. You know, I already got my lawyer on standby and everything. Right. So I go down there, you know, I make sure I'm like super clean. You know, the truck clean, everything clean. You know what I mean? Right. Go down there. As soon as I get in the building, they told me to sit down. Man, about 20 officers came bum rush me. Right, I'm sitting there like you Mark Manley came bum rush me. Right, and I looked at Jay, my boy Jay. I said, "Hey yo, I told you." I said, "Call my lawyer. Call Nikki Lotzie. Nikki Lotzie, shout out to her. Yeah, she's a real bulldog. You get in a situation, she gonna go to bat for you. Right. Yeah. So I called Nikki Lotzie. I was locked up for a little bit. Went to go see a judge. It was an old white man up there. I said, well, I go ahead and get comfortable up in here. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I got up there, sent me right back in the joint. So I get another court date. I go up there and see a black woman up there, right? Because remember, I'm righteous. Everything I did was righteous. Right. It was justified. No doubt about it. It was justified. I just needed somebody to give me a fair ear, you know. Right. I knew she would do it. You know, I knew she would hear out the whole case. I knew she would hear out everything. And I knew she would throw the case up. Because as soon as I came out, I'm in handcuffs. I'm in orange jumpsuit. And I looked up. I said, yeah, I'm going home. You know, I'm going home. So Nikki Lotzie, she tearing him up. She said, well, did y'all know that it was 4 armed gunmen? Thank God that he had a gun on him. Thank God. Thank God. Because, you know, like the way she worded everything, she when she was done with them, the judge actually said, "All right, that's enough, Nikki Lottie. That's enough. He's going home. That's enough."
Oh, like, that.
Yeah, he's going home. And my mother just broke down in tears because she and moms was always in the courtrooms with me. Like I'm not new to courtrooms. All my juvenile life, I've been in and out. In and out. Right. It's definitely nothing as major as this case, but I was used to the process, and moms just was breaking down crying, in the middle of the courtroom, and judge said, "You going home?" So, and that was that. So after I beat that, it was on now, I'm like, okay, there is a reason why I was in that courtroom in the first place, It wasn't because of the justified homicide. It was because of the firearm, right? It was because of the firearm, because it was, allegedly unregistered, allegedly, unpermitted, and to be in the District of Columbia, right? So I said, man, I need to educate myself more, educating myself more. So I started learning. I started teaching myself, just talking to different people, Googling, how to get my permits and stuff. So I started getting permits, from everywhere, Maryland, DC, Virginia, Utah, Arizona, started getting all these permits. And as I'm learning, I'm like, I need to teach the community. Right. I need to spread the word because we grew up, we didn't have no knowledge of firearms. We learned from the streets. I learned from my older brothers or older big homies, about guns. They ain't no squat. Right. Definitely ain't know nothing about, firearm awareness or getting your licensing and anything like that. So I started pushing that and using my platform, the little platform that I had at the time, to push that out, right? To push that knowledge out. And when I first started posting my guns and stuff, man, people was like, "Oh man, you can't post your guns." Right. I'm like, them white folk do it. Well, yeah. Go talk to them white folk. Go tell them white folk you can't post your guns. Because I'm posting mine, right? So
did you research or you just start posting? Did you research about
I researched. Okay. And I'm just I'm watching it.
When I first seen I was blown away. I said, you got blown away like that, right?
Blown away because we don't know. You know what I mean? But you go to see all these gun pages and it's a white man behind them. So that was like a shock value right there, where people just swarm to my platform, right? They swarm to my platform. So I started a training compound where we bringing all the community out. We bringing the mothers, the fathers, the children. We bringing them all out to train, to learn about this firearm. That there's so many guns on the street. These guns ain't going nowhere, right? So this teaching them the proper way to handle them, and teaching them not to use them on your brother or sister, right? Because that's what we doing. We've been using this weapon as to destroy us, right? It's just been it's been like a purpose of changing the mindset of the youth.
For the youth, yeah. So let me ask you. It's a lot of firearms obviously on the streets, in the hands of past underminers, 12 and 11 and 10 years old. Yeah. What do you contribute that to? I know you don't personally probably know, but what's your thought process? Why is it so easy for a young 11 years old, 10 years old to get a gun?
I mean, because there isn't no father figure around. There isn't no big brother. There's a lack of mentor. Mark Two Shops said it best. There's no one really standing up in the communities and like really being a big brother and being a mentor and standing up. To stand up against whatever they doing. These youngers got the elders scared straight. And I deal with them on the regular. I deal with 10th place. I deal with 21st. I deal with Langston. I deal with all these children. These are my babies. I know what they're going through. I talk to them daily. They're not eating. They're not. It's hard for them to eat. They don't have money for food. There's a lack of opportunities. They got beef. 2 of my youngest that I mentor, they just got killed just for riding their scooter outside. So it's a war zone in our city, and we can't just sit back and watch them kill each other. Right. So we just trying to step in. and and address some of these issues. Why do you have a gun?
Right.
Because that neighborhood across the street trying to kill me.
Right.
And as a man, you kind of sympathize with that. So what is the solution? The solution is to talk to both neighborhoods. Try to get both neighborhoods together, and so this unity is the key.
Right. Have you ever had a situation where you mediating or talking to neighborhoods, and one neighborhood feel like you favor another neighborhood, or that's the ops, or you always got the general pass? They know what's saying.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get that. You're definitely gonna get that. So that's part of doing. Yeah, that's part of doing the business. Yeah, that's part of doing it, bro. Yeah.
You build your social media up, man.
Yeah.
I mean, promotion, grind, doing reenactments, interacting with your daughters.
Yeah.
When you first put the gun in your daughter's hand and was teaching about the gun and all that, what was that experience like?
It was a special moment for me because I never had it. I never had no one sit down and teach me the basic fundamentals of handling a firearm. And I know how important it is today. I know how important it is to teach our children survival. Basic survival skills. So, and these are my baby girls. So if I'm gone tomorrow, my baby girl gonna grow up. She ain't never know how to bust a pistol in her life. I didn't want that for her. So I want to teach them how to defend themselves, how to be prepared. Because we teach preparation in my household. Like if someone strange comes to the house, or if this happens, if that happens, if someone pulls up on you and tries to, grab you. So we go through a lot of different scenarios, and I'm grateful and I'm thankful that I'm still here and I'm knowledgeable enough and aware to teach them these things while they're young.
Right.
Because tomorrow isn't promised for fathers. It's not promised to anyone. So.
Right. When I seen that, man, I thought that was a real unique perspective and, courageous in a way, what I'm saying? Because as a father of a daughter, you want everything to be princey and out of their way and nothing to get,
and they are my princesses. Right, for sure. Yeah. But they not to be messed with, man.
And look, we pray it don't be no, what they call them joints, what they call it over to go crazy, you see the movie they call them, they say, like everybody that's going crazy shooting up.
Oh,
it's a terminology for it. I'm having a brain
you talking about the purge. The purge. Oh yeah.
Right, yeah. Let's Lord forbid we don't have no purge. Right?
Yeah,
what I'm saying, but you confident it. Yeah. That baby girl she gonna get her window. The wife gonna get her window and they gonna hump.
That's what I always say, because a lot of people like, man, you posting all your guns, I'm like, look, if you got past my pit bull, you got past my cameras, you got past my security system, you got past them babies up in there, all right, that are very dangerous, all right, they're trained
to go,
right, and you got past mama bed, and hopefully daddy bed ain't dead, you deserve them guns, man. And the safe and the steel safe that we got. You deserve those guns, man. If they was what? So I always say that, so.
When you first started off promoting on your social media page, how many followers or subscribers you had then versus today?
I had 5,000 subscribers. I started off 5,000 subscribers. I had 0 on YouTube, had 0 on Facebook. Now today on YouTube, I got 240,000 subscribers. On Instagram, I have 84,000, and Facebook I got 170,000. And we just gonna keep building, because the larger the platform, the more of a voice I have, So we just trying to keep pushing the message. And first people didn't get it, but we've been doing it for about 4 years now, and people understand. Our people understand. They're like, you seeing all these shootings, all right? You seeing all these grocery store shootings, these mass shootings, these attacks on black folk in these urban areas, because they know, like, these people aren't knowledgeable. They ain't trained.
Right.
They're not trained. That's the fact of the matter. Yes, we are the largest, we buying the most guns now. Black women is buying the most guns now.
Right now.
We're topping in history, in U.S. history. We are on top as the most gun buyers in the country. So that's to say a lot, about the whole movement. It's been like a shock wave through the country, where as though we're picking up, we're arming ourselves and we're training and we're getting knowledge. So
right. So that's good. And obviously building up a social media file like that, you got a purpose and you got to go and we all want our person go also to conduct business too. You know what I'm saying? The same token. But that's one of my main reasons. Even I want to blow my platform where it's successful financially, but my first goal was to get such a bigger platform where my voice can be heard. Yeah. On a bigger platform. That sounds like what you right.
So because at first it was all about the guns, right? And then babies started dying all throughout DC, right? Little PJ, he died a couple years ago. He was the one that was a football player. And then it was another baby girl. I think her name was Makala or something. Makia. Yeah.
Over Lincoln Heights.
Yeah. All right. So after that, I was like, okay, I got to put more than guns. Of course, I got to make relatable content. Yeah. That's why I do like some of the raps and stuff, because the youngest, they feel like they can relate to me, So they make their way over to me, hit the follow button. If I got an event, they come out and then I hit them with the message, The message is unity, unity and love. That's what it is. And of course, educating, the community, but you gonna get what I was instilled with as a youngin', because I had a mother that it was, y'all stick together, y'all love each other, and if anybody come at y'all, y'all crush them. That was the message. So that's the message, same message I'm giving out.
Don't leave nobody behind.
Don't leave nobody behind. You better not come up in this house without your little brother or your big brother. And we stuck like that, There's been so many battle testing events with me and my brothers, man.
Exactly, yeah. Do you ever get any kickback from the government or from people in prestigious situation where they feeling like you part of the problem because the look you're giving up or stop you from coming through certain doors?
Yeah, absolutely. They shut us down in when we had the training compound in Walker, Maryland. They changed the zoning just for us. Because a lot of people don't know, black folk don't know, most of the time of course in Maryland and different counties, you can shoot on your own property. Right. As long as you got a backstop, as long as you're like away from a school, and as long as you're not shooting directly at someone's house, you can shoot on your own property. I can invite.
And the backstop, they even cut you off. Backstop is something to stop the bullet.
Stop the bullet.
Okay.
So we had all that. We had the backstop. We've been doing it for about 2 years. We've been training, but we got big. We had our Chopper Day one year. The county even gave us a permit for that Chopper Day. Where we had like 700 to 800 families come out, train with us, and learn. And we all just had a good time. So we did it again. But we got so big, they hit me with a order, like a court order. Was like, hey, if you do this again this year, we're going to lock you and we're going to lock your wife up. I'm like, what my wife got to do with it? You know what I'm saying? So
they get attention with that.
That's how they got me. Because I told my wife, I said, man, I don't care, what they doing. I said, lock me up. I'm gonna, you just gonna make me, you gonna give me more of a voice than I ever had. Right. But then they threw a curveball, let me put my wife, they put my wife's name on the court order. And basically just said it in black and white. You would be held in contempt of court. So I couldn't risk my wife's freedom, for what we were trying to do. So what I did was just move to another county. We moved to Fredericksburg, Virginia. Okay. But the government definitely they put their foot down on me.
And I seen some of your events. I seen one day you had the boy Cat Williams out there shooting the pistol.
Brad Williams, Charleston White. Yeah.
You had it out there. I think you had one of the boys in Texas. One of the rappers in Texas. I think you had somebody there. You was in Texas, or you was in Texas with that.
And I was in North Carolina. Okay. With Charleston White.
Okay.
which was a hilarious dude, man.
Oh yeah, funny dude.
Yeah, funny dude.
Right, yeah.
And
actually a smart dude. I know that.
He's very intelligent, man, and he's intelligent enough to like put on his character when the camera start rolling. You know, become someone totally different. Right. You know, like seems like he out of control. And then when the camera shut down, it's like he a whole different dude. You can talk to him about activism. You can talk to him about the community. You know what I mean? He's actually stepping out here with the community, going to these different neighborhoods, talking to kids and stuff like that. So, you know, a lot of people don't like him, but hey, I mean, he doing more than a lot of these folks that talking trash about him.
Just talking against him. Yeah. He definitely seemed to be a very intelligent dude. You hear the terminology, guns and switches. Explain that. What's philosophy? What's a switch, or what ain't a switch, or what
switch
is changing the gun? Explain that.
Switch is a device that you put on a Glock.
Okay.
You know, and it performs it to be automatic. Okay. So you can hold down the trigger and it'll rapid fire.
Okay.
You know, which these youngins they love. You know, that's their thing. Only thing about that is, you know, the government ain't playing with that.
Right.
If these kids would get in a proper education, they would know that they can get an automatic weapon. Right. You know, you can get an automatic weapon. Right. You don't have to go buy a switch, you know, a legal switch that's going to get you 10, 15 years. You don't have to do that. You can do it the right way, file the proper paperwork, and get an automatic weapon. You know, we even working with felons getting their gun rights restored, you know, and they're getting their gun rights back. And they can get, I got a felon coming to an ex-felon. I don't even like using the terminology as a felon because you did your time. Right. You know, you paid your due and your debts to society, you know, and for you to have to come out to society and treat it like that and be labeled a felon, I can't get with that. But that's why we got programs where we try to help felons as well. So
okay. When you hear about all these killings and shooting and stuff, how does it affect you? How do you think about it? You feel you have a, you know.
Oh man. I'm trying to word how I feel, you know, because it's definitely heartbreaking, you know, especially when you're trying to, you know, pursue change in your community, and it seemed like, you know, there's so much work to do. Yeah. You know, every time I'm always, you know, reading the latest, you know, and it's like we got work. We got so much work to do. We so far behind, you know. Right. So
Right. So it's just one of them joints, right? It's like you're looking at it, you can't change it. You're doing your little part that you can do and all that, right?
Definitely. Right. And we all have a part to do. We all got, you know, this is the lane that I'm in, but there's so many other people that's out here in the community, out here pursuing change, out here trying to make a difference, whether it's with their voice, whether it's boots on the ground. You know, it's just we all have a part to play.
Right.
So.
Right. And like I said, one thing I like about what you're doing, you relatable. You know what I'm saying? And that's key to this work. You know what I'm saying? Because people can sit back wherever they sitting in and watch it from a distance, but if you don't be relatable to this young generation right here, their ears gonna be totally zipped up and closed. You know what I'm saying? And like I was telling with a conversation with some of my peers, and I was like, man, it's no different when you see the new church now. You know what I'm saying? Like, dress, come as you are. They talking about current issues because that's the way to draw people in. And then once you get them in there, you give them your message, right?
Your message,
and man, and I see you know, you putting that play together and you standing behind and doing it. And that's one of the reasons why we always say we was gonna get together and sit down. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people can see you on the screen and they don't get a chance to meet who you are. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, and understand what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's so I applaud you for training, the black family, not just black family. We talking about the black is our issue, but whoever want to come and give you business. But I'm saying from a personal standpoint, train the black family, the black woman how to protect themselves, your daughter, your wife.
Yeah, see the thing is, like, it's, you know, we welcome all walks of life, but this is something that's by us, for us, you know, for one of their own, for these youngers never had no one to look up to as far as in the firearm industry. The firearm is a billionaire industry. You know, you got gunsmiths, you got people that own FFLs that sell guns, you got people that competition shooters, and we want them to know the people that's curious and interested in firearms, because most young black men are. We want them to know that there's a better route. There's a route that a legal route, and you can make some money. You know, you can build a career on it.
Right.
So we want them to know that, because growing up, we didn't have that. There was no black Second Amendment events. You know, there was no black influencers in the 2A community. You know, if they was black, they were, you know, they weren't relatable. Right. They weren't from an urban environment. They weren't from, you know, the culture, the neighborhood. Right. You know, so they couldn't relate. They're not gonna sit there and listen to that. Right. Exactly. You know, because it's like you don't know how I feel. You don't know. You don't see through these, you know, eyes that I'm looking through. So So we definitely we create a safe space for them. Right. You know, to be who they are. They don't got to switch up. And we just try to change their mindset. Right. Try to give them some purpose. And my boy E-Class, you know E-Class, he said one thing. We always end up in the same rooms together because we're trying to same purpose. We got the same purpose. We always ended up in the same rooms, and it's always crazy. I'm like, man, I didn't know you was gonna be here. Right. You know, and he said one thing to me, it stuck with me. He said, man, I give, when I talk to these kids, I give them hope, you know, hope for tomorrow. And it stuck with me because it's like, you know, if these children got something to look forward to, you know, they move different. A lot of these kids don't. Right, yeah. A lot of kids living by the day. They're trying to figure out how they're going to eat. Like, they're trying to figure out how they're going to get by today. So giving them hope, that's a game changer. That's powerful. That's powerful. E-Class definitely a good spirit. Always, good spirit, man. Always boots on the ground. Always call me, tapping in, giving advice. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful brother. Yeah. What is Mark Chopper 5-year plan, and what is Mark Chopper long-term plan? Okay. 5-year plan. I want to have 100 acres. I want to have a school on there. I want to have a training compound. I want to have somewhere where the community can come to. They can get their financial literacy. They can get their real estate education. You know, they can learn archery. They can learn how to fish. They can learn how to hunt. You know, they can learn, of course, firearms, how to target practice, and they can learn, you know, basic survival skills that we've been so far behind on. You know, we've been so far behind on that, and I feel like that is my purpose, and I feel like that's a goal of mine. In the next 5 years, I'm gonna have. Right. So, and I'm gonna, yeah. That's powerful. And the next question, long term, before you answer that. You're right, we so far behind because it's 2023. I was locked up in Oakdale, Louisiana in 1990. Yeah. And I used to hear the guards and, you know, talking amongst each other, saying how they coming from training. They train their doors, they whistling, bragging on how their doors can shoot and how they know how to hunt and cook, start fires. Yeah. And it was like, I'm like, damn. Yeah. And we just having these conversations now. Yeah, we just having these conversations. 30-something years later. So that's powerful that you brought something back in my brain with that, man. Yeah, man. What's your long-term goal? Long-term goal, you know, just honestly, I want to be able to, you know, just kind of, I want a lot of my work to be kind of the machine to be working itself now. You know, Mark Chopper can show up when, you know, when it's convenient for me. Because right now I'm missing a lot of things because I'm boots on the ground. Right. You know, 10 years from now, long term, you know, I want to be able to kind of move where I want to move. I want to travel a little bit. I want to spend more time with the family. I want to, you know, just I want the community to, you know, kind of, like I said, I want the machine to work for itself.
Right, your 5-year plan. You want your 5-year plan to become a turnkey situation.
Yeah.
And it's growing and having new mock choppers come out.
New mock choppers come out.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
So,
That's deep, man. That's deep.
Because long term, I want to, I want to travel. I want to, sightsee. I got a wife. I got a beautiful family. Spend more time with them. Take them out of the country and stuff like that. So,
right. Yeah, that's deep. That's deep.
Yeah.
Any question I asked you that I didn't ask that you want to discuss or talk on? Something you want to get out that I didn't ask?
Nah, man, you pretty much covered all the bases.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's good. Give me an A, huh? I take it.
Yeah, man. You covered everything for real, man.
Well, I definitely, man. I just want to let you know, man. I appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm a little biased because I seen you as a younger.
Yeah.
I seen you. One thing I'm gonna say about you, you always was a gentleman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's big with me, especially as young guys. You know what I'm saying? Because young guys feel like they need to be Humphrey Bogart first. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Then they be a gentleman when they're in the court looking at life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's really the reverse type joint. You know what I'm saying? You be a gentleman, then you be Humphrey Bogart when somebody get in your lane. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I applaud you for that, man. And you was the same guy as a young guy, as a grown man. And I think God will open doors for you because he know your heart and he see your walk. You know what I'm saying? Because we know we can't fool the big fella. You know what I'm saying? You can't fool him, right? Yeah. But man, I want you to keep doing what you're doing, man. I wish you much of anything that I can do, as whatever connections I got. You already know my number.
Yeah.
I get in touch with me, man. But I want to thank you, man, for making time, man.
Thank you for having me, man.
He ain't bring none of them big joints with him, man. I know he got all tight, man.
Yeah,
Look,
well,
he took the ice off, but I was going to wear the joint, man. You got a little joint.
We keep the Glock 43X with us, man. We all clear here, man. Check that out.
Hey, you see how I grab? I want to press it. You put the work in there. And you got that, what they call that joint, the face-off. This is the face-off joint, man. Yeah, man. Okay.
This is one of the everyday curries, so that I always keep on me. It's very concealable, man. It's compact, and you can't see nothing.
Right? So,
So.
Okay, man. You be good, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to Curtbone TV. Make sure y'all subscribe to Mark. What's your social media page?
Mark Choppa on Instagram. Mark Choppa TV on Mark Choppa on Instagram. Mark Choppa TV on YouTube.
Okay, y'all heard it from him. Mark Choppa, Curtbone TV. Make sure y'all subscribe.
Out the pot, niggas know me. Curtbone, little homie. All days. Yeah. Been a roll. Hey.
Thank you for watching Changing Jewels on Curtbone TV. If you like the jewels that we are dropping, subscribe, hit the notification, and share with some friends. And I'll see you on the next episode of Changing Jewels, Curtbone TV.